Hi, welcome to Barvotti's 63rd live screening of Tools for Creatives. I am Phoebe Bradbury, and today I will be demonstrating some of the tools that I use every day in my art studio. I wouldn't want to be without them, and I find new uses for them all the time. I don't have to give you the time because we don't have promo codes today that are good for an hour and a half, but that's listed here. Anyway, the reason we don't have promo codes is that we have to put them in specially, and we forgot to do that, but we will have promo codes on Wednesday, and usually they're for your choice of whatever tool you want for 25% off. So yeah, I'm sorry we've missed that today, but we're going to have a lot of fun doing things here today. So where do I go now, Previn? Okay, so here I am. Yes, since we don't have promo codes, you don't get to look at all the little things, but we'll see some of the tools today. And this is the one that you watched coming in. And I think the tool, I don't have the main tool on that one. Anyway, that's the one coming in, and that's called Purple Domain, and that will be, that's going to be on Abstract Art Canada, probably within the next day or so, .com. And this is the one that's going to be showing on the way out, and this one is got the, oh, what's the right size? I think that's it. This is the right size. This is called Flamingo Land. And it's done on Yupo paper, as this one was done on Yupo paper. And it's done on Yupo paper because Yupo is an archival plastic paper. And so we do some of the work here on very inexpensive freezer paper. That's what this is behind here. And it's just got paper on one side and a slick piece of plastic on the other. And it's called Flamingo Land because we live in the land of flamingos. My studio is in Mexico on the Yucatan coast, and we see flamingos go by regularly. I do have a shot of flamingos flying by, but unfortunately haven't quite got it ready to show, but we will in the near future. Did you know my phone has a low battery here, Previn? We may not be able, okay. It's just turned off. Don't you check the batteries? We have a moment here where we're going to have to do a few other things till we get our battery for our one camera plugged in properly. Okay. Oh, I'm over here now. It's okay, Previn. Low power mode, close. Okay. to even work at all now. We got another power thing here that we can use for it. What's this one go to?
It's the connection.
It's working?
I think so.
Okay, let's see.
No, it's not giving me the right.
You can't put me on the right camera yet. Okay, that's right. Let's see if I can do the...
Okay.
Oh yeah, I think it's working now. It's not telling me that we are out of battery, so that's great. Apologize for that. Occasionally we have little things like that go wrong. And it's really not to do with preparation. We have very interesting electrical service here in the Yucatan Peninsula. Sometimes only one light in the house will be on. And at those times, none of our batteries charge. And sometimes we have no power at all, which we had no power at all for about, 5 hours yesterday, Previn?
Mm-hmm.
And then we had very light power. The hair dryer I was using to dry my hair this morning was going very slow. So we had a little bit of a power problem. We have power right now. And to get back to the Yupo paper, and I apologize for that happening, the Yupo paper is archival, and which means it can be sold as, real art in a real art store. So you start out with the plastic paper and fool around with that and have a lot of fun. And for me, as an artist, I have to warm up a little bit before I can actually do anything. So I'm going to be demonstrating the tools as I warm up this morning. And then we're going to work on maybe making some smaller pieces with Yupo paper. This is one here. It's 5 by 7 inches. And it looks a little bit like the one with the flamingos. And it actually was the inspiration for the flamingos because I like the wiggly lines behind it. And I'm just going to show you how crisp. Let's see if I can get that. I don't know whether I've got the... Have I got
It's
the...
not focused.
It's not focused. Yeah, okay. I think I got the wrong one in. I've got the zoom on. And I don't seem to have the focus on. Okay. Oop, there's the focus.
Yeah.
We have a little automatic focus in here, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I just went in to show you how crisp the background can be when we're using these tools. And for this one, I believe I was using the 1 inch, and I don't have one sitting here. I have one here. Okay. So I was still using the mottlers, and this is an example of a mottler. It's got the wide, broad end, and for most of our shows, we've used the mottlers because that's all that we could get to Amazon during the time of the of COVID and all the trouble with shipping and things like that. So now we have everything. So we have 4 sizes of this. 1 inch. This is the 1 inch.
5 mottlers.
We have 5 mottlers.
Yeah.
1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2 inch, 2.5 inch, and 3 inch mottlers like this. And I don't have my camera ready ones out here right now because I was just going to work today. But here's a 3 inch one which I have just carved the end out of it this morning to make new marks, and I'll show you those later. And I want to show the tools. Actually, this is probably a good idea to do it right now. And I'm not going to go over this in great detail today. I'm probably going to be focusing these. Okay, zoom out. Thank you. Not so hard to do once the zoomer's working. If I can just get rid of that focus part. Ah. Zoom. Zoom out. Focus. My little focus window isn't working properly, but I'm in the zoom. Why is it not focusing? Focus.
Yeah, but a red
Hey?
rectangle, is the
No, there's no
rectangle
red mark there. No.
Yeah, tap on the, get rid of the red.
Tap where?
Tap on the red rectangle.
There is no red
Oh, okay.
rectangle. Okay, thank you. So we do have the focus there. So these are the,
Not in focus.
eh?
It's not in focus.
So we have a reasonable focus there. I'm sorry, it's not perfect. This is the 1 inch, the 1.5 inch, the 2 inch, the 2.5 inch, and the 3 inch. Okay. I will work on getting it focused a little bit better, but okay, thanks, Brevin. How about you coming and focusing it then, since you seem to know what you're doing. You got the red mark?
No, I don't have any red mark.
Mm-hmm, okay.
Don't see any of those marks.
Okay. I apologize for the lack of focus. We seem to have, I think I might be able to get it back here. It's in our, there we go. That's better. I've got it focused now, but I'm using the manual focus, but that's okay. So that's those 5. I'll put them back in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, that's not part of it. And that's not part of it. Okay. And so we have 5 of these are, this is the 1 inch. 1 inch or 1 centimeter set of 5. It should be a set of 5. I only have 4 here. And this is the 0.7 centimeter set. And I've got the 5 here with the 5 different ends. And if you go to our website, you will see all of the different ends explained and things like that. So, and I guarantee that on the website they will be focused. So I'm just going to, and we have 0.7 centimeters or 7 millimeters and 4 millimeters and really tiny and very delicate. They're not that strong, but with the delicate work, they can work extremely well. And these are 3 millimeters, so they're very, very small. And these all come in sets of 5, and they all have exactly the same tips. So what I'm going to do now is just do a bit of warm up with the tools right on the wax paper here. I am going to try and focus as much as possible on the smaller shapers. We call these shapers, and we call these modelers. Okay, that's just to distinguish between the sets. And I'm going to be focusing today a little bit on color, and that's because I haven't been very happy with some of the colors I've chosen. And so I was going to do kind of a color study. I hope you're okay for that. This is a color I've mixed. This is this one here is these are different blues, 2 opaque blues. I don't know if they're showing there. They're not. Okay, I'll show them here. These are all artist color paints. And so that's a phthalo green, phthalo blue, mixture of phthalo green and blue. These are all transparent. These are pre-mixed, these are mixed colors that I buy. They're still artist brand, but this was sort of a, what was it called? A teal, it wasn't called teal blue, but it was like a turquoisey blue. And this is a green, blue-green, or green-blue, whatever. They're both opaque. And we have also we have another blue here, and that is a ultramarine blue, so it's a reddish blue. And the phthalo blue is sort of a greenish blue. So, and different things happen because of the different types of paint we're using. So with we've been doing a lot of paint where we've been tinting metallic colors to make things like this. So this was a gold, and when it goes on, it's sort of gray, and when it dries, not gray, but sort of creamy colored. It's not like a really sharp gold color like these ones here. And that's because as they dry, the medium becomes clear. So it goes from something that looks like cream to something that's absolutely clear. And so here's one that's really clear, this one here, and this one there. And the point I'm trying to make here, which I'm bumbling a little bit about because I just thought of it this morning, is that you can do this, but you must always mix, especially if you're mixing colors with it, you must always use transparent colors. And if you use an opaque color, there won't be any shimmer, there won't be any metal, because it'll cover all the little flecks of metal that are in this. And I was just going to do some examples of that today, but I'm going to do a lot of them as examples on sort of postcard size Yupo paper. But now I'm going to say, I'm just going to play with these now so you get an idea what the different colors are. And anybody who's watched me for a while has seen me complain about everything is always turning green. So that's putting a little bit of phthalo green, me being brave and putting a little bit of green out first. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Is it still in focus? No. Nope. And the zoom is not working that well. Oh well.
That's good.
Is that in focus now?
Yeah.
Okay. So all my things. So that's a green, and that's a transparent green. So I'm going to use one of these things here. So that's that beautiful color, and you can see how beautiful it is. It is transparent. It's gorgeous. Just like a jewel. That's phthalo green. Now I'm not going to use any opaque phthalos because, well, phthalo by definition is transparent. Oopsie daisies, here I have this one coming open. I just emptied this today, so there should be a little bit left in it. This is a phthalo blue, also beautiful and transparent. So to mix these together, you could get a blue-green. See? A bluey green. But the paint store that I buy from, which is not golden, but golden actually puts out a color like that is a mixture of the two. I'm just going to show you that because I mixed it up today. And so it's a mixture of the transparent blue and the transparent green. And I just want to show you how pretty it is. I hope it did turn out good. See, so that's like a sea green, right? Very, very, very transparent. And notice the kind of marks I can make with this brush. I'm just shaper. I'm just showing you that right now. So this color I was really, really pleased to see, because I like that color, but I don't have it in my mixture. The reason I don't have it is because I didn't mix it up from the two things, this one and this one, that would make that color and give me a transparent color. Now I'm going to show you something else, and this is I'm trying to think, I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically a blue-green. It's supposed to be like that, but it's opaque, and it's mixed at the factory, and you can see, even though the color's not too bad, it's not transparent at all. So if I mix this with a gold, it goes out. It's always the same color. Well, when I squeeze it, you can see the mass tone versus the light tone, but the dark tone is not as dark as that one there. And I'm going to also show you another version of it, which has got a little more green in it. And these are both from these are from a store. It's made in the U.S. and they make wonderful, very excellent paints, but usually for murals. But you'll notice that the dark green part isn't as dark as that. Just as in that, it isn't that way. Now what I'm going to do is mix a little bit of gold. Where's my gold? Did I not bring it in here? I don't believe it. Oh, there it is. You don't have to run for it, Previn. I could hear him getting ready to run. Okay, so here I'm going to put a little bit of gold in that one, a little bit of gold in that one, a little bit of gold in this one, and a little bit of gold in that one. And we'll just see if what I'm saying is true. I think it's true. First of all, we'll mix these ones. As I say, well, I may not have enough of the product, but basically what will probably happen here is the color will disappear. The gold shimmery color. We'll use one of these cards to show that. So that's the blue-green. Well, I guess I call this one the green-blue, the green first. I put a lot in there, so I'm just going to mix up a corner of it here. So I'm not really seeing any shimmer there yet, but maybe I'm setting up your expectations. Oh, I forgot to put some in this. That is, I was going to put a little bit in this one too. Oops, that's the phthalo blue. Okay, and a little bit blue in that. So now we're going to try the phthalo blue with the shimmer in it. Or was that the thing? Oh, God, I'm getting so mixed up here. This blue here, the ultramarine blue, is transparent too. Not quite as transparent as the phthalo. And this is probably going to, because it's mixed with gold, it will give, you can see the sheen of the gold. You may not be able to, but I do. And that's because the actual paint is fairly transparent, and you can see it just, the
card's not.
Oh, the card's not showing. Here we go. And I can do that. Yeah, okay. I'm going to do this one now. Oh, yeah. So that's the blue. So that's the green with the gold, and you can see the shimmer a little bit. And I'm going to now do a little bit of the mixture here. I love this color, but it's going to be a little bit more yellow because it's got the gold color in it. And these colors, these metallic colors, can come in sort of very standard colors, like stainless steel can be metallic too, so you can see. So I don't know whether, yeah, I guess you can see it, but if I tilt this, maybe you'll see it. I do have, okay, I have something here that is metallic with this was done with a red and gold, and you can see how metallic how it shimmers. You can see that it's definitely a metallic color there, and it's very thick. And so the ones that have that are transparent will give you this result. And I've got another one. I had a blue one here, but oh yeah, here's the purple one. This is a transparent purple. It does give a shimmer. It's not gold in this case, but it does give a shimmer. So with this, it would have been I think it was a magenta or a transparent purple color. So modern colors are transparent, but a lot of the earth tones that were, from almost over a century ago, the earth tones that the great masters used, they're not. Very few of those are transparent. So modern colors do tend to be transparent. So that was just that. I'm just going to play with this a little bit to show you some of the marks. I'm going to mix them up now a little bit. I think what I'll do is I'll take one of these ones, just go like this. And you can see the colors that are underneath. And you can see that I can scrape through on top with this, but I'm going to do it with these smaller ones, and I'm going to add, a dark phthalo color, the phthalo green, the phthalo blue, I should say, just to make it a little darker, and it'll show up better. Should show up better against the paint. Yeah, there we go. And you can see where I scrape through that there is the stuff that I'd done before. So it's kind of up to you whether you layer things and then pull them out later. Okay. So I'm used to demonstrating these big ones, and so I'm attempting to demonstrate the small ones today. So let's see what we can do here. So this is a chisel end. See one, and it's the big one, so it's a 1 centimeter chisel end. Let's get a better cloth here. And washing these, generally you should not use solvents at all, ever on them, but if you do use solvents in, say, cold wax or oil paintings, just make sure you rinse them off with water later, because silicone does dissolve in solvents. So I've got the chisel end, which is a nice flat end there, like that. And going like that. And I made some new tools today, so I do want to try them. And that's where I go and I punch out marks. Like, you see how I took a hole punch this time and cut those ones. Usually I just use a little knife, but I just want to see what this makes. So you can see that's a very interesting mark that it's making through there. And so you're getting to see the first time I tried it now. Now, will I change that? Will I make different ones? Yes, I will. Poor Previn now has to go and pick up my stuff that fell on the floor. So I'm going to go across like this, over, under, over, under. I'm going to see if I think those things are too small for me to show that. So. It's a good thing there's two of us. And it's not such a good thing that I did that I dropped everything, but so let's. And here's another one. It's a little less. There's another one I made today. So it's got fewer ridges, so we'll just play with that one. We'll go like this, and like this. And then I'm going to go across with one of these. So this is the, it's called the angle chisel point. So the flat surface, thank you, Previn, that's great. So where will I put them? So the flat chisel point is the distance across is one centimeter, but because this is on a, this isn't the flat chisel, the angle chisel point, this is actually bigger than 1 centimeter length there. So I'm just going to go try and do my usual weaving thing. So I'm going to go under, over, under, over. And then I'm going to go over, under, I have to stop and think. And with this sort of thing, you can do it, like you could have totally different colors underneath and do it. And so over and under. Under. So that's sort of looks like a basket weave now. It's a very simple technique to make you feel like you're doing something. I like doing it, and I make marks like this all the time. And usually I start my day off by making marks like this, and I like to make expressive marks, and it's, you know, it's helpful to make a parallel line marker, but you can also just do marks like this sort of thing, or then you can overlap. You could change the colors. And just playing a little bit, as long as you don't play too far, you might have something that you could put on your wall. I'm not saying this is one of them, because these are very blue this time. But so I can spend quite a bit of time just warming up, playing, and doing stuff like this. And I was very careful today to say, I'm going to deal with blue, because the minute I put green on there, yellow on there, I'm going to be getting green. Now I could be using red, and that would give me some red colors. And this little play piece, this little sampler that I made, because it's Yupo, I can wipe it off if I want to, and I can actually just leave it on there. That doesn't change its actual archivalness, let's put it that way. It's still a very good piece of paper. And this is, I buy the stuff that's quite strong. I think this is meant to cover things. But as you can see, if I wanted to, I could take a print off that. Prints don't come off very well with Yupo paper. A regular piece of absorbent paper would work better. I've got all my colors out here, so I'm going to move them back a bit. And I'm going to take that one piece of paper off, and then we'll start doing some other things. So, just show you. There's that one. Goodbye. Okay. So I first, oh, here I am, my hands are dirty. When I first started playing with Yupo paper and acrylics was several years ago, and I had these tools. This was before I started marketing them. I had these tools, and I just had a little piece of paper like this, and I didn't know what. Often the best time for me to learn something new is when I'm not trying hard. So I guess I had something this color, and probably the board was not that wet. I'm a little bit worried about that. So I'm going to try one that's a bit drier. I can use that one later. And I just had something like one of these things. I don't know how big it was, but I just started playing with it. I think it might have been a little bit darker. So how would I make yellow darker? I could add red to it. This is called Indian yellow, and I'm not going to add blue to it because for sure it's going to turn green. And it comes from India. Where's my, maybe I'll add some of this. This is it's supposed to mean magenta, and I think it's supposed to be transparent. I'm not sure. Okay, this will make it darker. But I just started playing around with it. And before I knew it, I had a composition that I liked. It's not looking that way this time, but that's probably just me right now. And I just played with it. And you can add more color if you want. But the long of the short of it is that I ended up with a piece that I liked so much that I gave it away as a gift. I gave it as a gift to somebody. And she still has it. But it's about just responding to the movement, playing. So, as you can see. So one of the things I do with these, and I have been playing in slightly bigger paper, but with something like this, when I have, just a small piece of paper to play with, I'm going to add a little bit of red to that. Oh, I know, this kind of red. And maybe I'll add a bit of this aerolite. Okay, now it's going to get sloppy, so I'm going to absorb some of that. The yellow is quite wet. So one of the things I like to do is sort of make puzzles with these. And the puzzle can be, one thing it can be is you can play with it and you can make a hidden message. So I've got a sample of a hidden message. You could say something like, I love you, or something like that, or Happy Valentine's Day, or whatever, or something mysterious. And the other thing you can do is something like this, where you just start at one end and remember where you start, or probably it's better off to remember where you finished and mark that. But you just go along like this, and you're just playing. But then, because you haven't lifted your pen from the paper, your mark from the paper, you can just go back. So if you put the entry point is here, make a note of what the entry point is, I suppose, somehow or other on your page. It could be where you sign your name or something like that. And you can just follow along. It's like a little puzzle. Where did it go? And there again, it went around there, and it went on around here, and so on and so forth. With this one, the upper layers kind of hid the lower layers, but we can do another one here. And the other thing I'd like to do with that is let's pick my new color, because I love it so much, and let's try with a little bit of that. It's off the page, Previn says, so we're going to move it down. Move it down. It's just about ready. And it's okay that it has that nice blue background. And let's play with something sort of mid-size here, maybe this size. So this is the 7mm. It's a little bit smaller. And I might want to put it all over first before I start to play with it. And because it's blue, you might want to have a theme. You could have fish in here or whatever. But notice that what you have to work with here is several shades of this dark blue. Like the darkest part is black, or looks black. And the lightest part is almost white, or could be scraped off to be white. So I normally, this is funny because I normally use much bigger tools, and I'm saying, how can I do this? How can I do this? Okay, I'm just going to get a much bigger tool and just go swiping across it first of all. So this sort of demonstrates how nice these big ones are for cleaning a space. And you can also think about it as if you had a palette which had color that you didn't like, and this is color I love, so I'm not going to scrape it all off. You could at least clean your palette with one of these very, very quickly. And the way I would do that is I would clean it. I wouldn't put it in water. Then I would just pick up a cloth and wipe my brush. Okay, let's see. Oops. Cloth. I do have some cloths here. So this is my new favorite color. And I just mixed it up. So let's play with one of these. You could make the marks wider or narrower or wider or like grass or like threads. You can play with it. So it's how you strike. It could be grass. Well, I made one with that was a picture of my dog, and I thought this looked like her dog hair. So the painting was black, black and gray. So this shows you some of the wild things you can do on this. And it's more interesting, I think, is if you have a really dark going against a lighter background. And because I'm doing this quickly here, I'm always kind of choosing a white background because I would have to put a different color background on it and then come in and finish it. I'd had, like, if I wanted a yellow background, I'd have to put it on and then wait a couple of days and go over it. So you can do that. So this just looks like a mess right now, but you can then come back to something like this and you can go. And then it looks not like a mess, but like a background, and then you can go on top of that and make a different make this stuff a background by just scraping through like this. So now your picture has gone from something sort of flat and like wormy to something multidimensional. And I've often thought that these could be used as, sent as postcards. But unfortunately, what I found out, we checked today whether this was standard postcard size, and they're a little bit big. These are 5 by 7. But they do make a miniature piece of art that you can give as a present, and you could inscribe your initials in there. And also, when you go into places like Walmart and stuff like that, 5 by 7 is a sort of a standard frame size or a standard cutout for a mat. So it's that size is pretty easy to put into like a gift package or something like that. Now for me, something like this I'd love because the colors I love anyway. Not everybody's gonna, you have to decide. I mean, I like that sort of stuff. How am I doing for time? Oh, I've got to do one more thing. I think I kind of promised, but I'm not sure if I did, that I would do one of those. And instead of doing a large Yupo painting, I'm going to put my little cards aside, and I'm going to get, here they are. So when I said, if you're going to do something and you want, oops, I will remove this whole thing. I got a whole new set here ready to go. So are we ready? Yes. So this is a Yupo painted black, which I did. And what I'm going to do now is do a quick demo of one of those gold paintings. And I have some, I bought it in here. Where did I put it? Oh, right here, right here. And we're going to try out some of my new cutouts. Oops. There's the gold. I'm going to get some more out. Where's this scraper? So this is the stuff that I said, when you put it out, it looks like sort of a brown paste. But when it dries, it becomes like gold. So this is a gold I haven't actually added any color to, but I think I will add some of that beautiful blue that I love. Just a bit. So then it'll probably turn a little greeny. So this is the blue that I mixed up. I'm just going to mix it right on here. And I'm going to mix it with something like this. I may not mix it all in because it might look more interesting if there's gold and green in there. And this is something that I can work at for a bit. And generally I play a bit, and when it starts to look okay, that's when I quit. It doesn't have to look fantastic. It just has to look acceptable. Because when it dries, it always looks way better. Because that's when it turns gold and stuff like that. And it's very easy to overwork these. They're still pretty, even if they are overworked. But I like to stop before I get there. So let's just see. I'm just wiping off my tools. I find that with the metallic paints, it's better to wipe your tools as you go because they... did I make a new big one? I did. Let's try this one. So what should happen is if you look along here, there are wide areas and cutout areas. So the wide areas should dig right down to the black surface to make lines, like parallel lines, see? And the other areas should be left and become gold when they dry. So let's just play with that a little bit.
We have a new follower. Say thanks to our follower.
Who's that?
We have a new follower. Yeah, DLC.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for following. I love it when I hear somebody's following. Then it makes me feel like, oh, I got to prepare better stuff. I am spending a lot more time preparing now. And so if I paint it like an angle like that, I leave a shimmer of metal on the bottom where the black is, but I can hold it right upright, especially when I'm first starting, and it'll go right down to sort of a flat black. So what are we going to do with this? When you saw the intro and the outro, the presentations, these were done without music. I'm hoping I can get some music because I do better if I have a bit of music. And they are sped up about 3 to 5 times. So I don't actually paint that fast, but I paint almost that fast. So that's sort of a... And the other thing I do when I'm doing this is I always go over the edges. That's a personal thing, and that's because I like the sense that my stuff continues beyond where I'm working. So I'm just going to play with these ones a little bit. And I think play is the correct word because that's the sense that I have of what I'm doing here. I do like this cutout. I think it's very nice. I think I like it better than the one I have in my hand. I'll try this again. And you can't, there is room, there is time for you to try several of them. At one point I did spray it with water. It's better off to not reach that point. It works, but it's, and I can use my other tools too. I've got, I'm just trying my new ones now. So this is my old one, and I've used it a lot, and I like it. I like it a lot. One of the things I like to see is I like to see the curves smooth, and it took a while for me to get them to go smooth, and I ended up with some pretty cranky looking curves, not very curvy, on some of my earlier ones. Here's one. Oops, I just dipped it in the green. Great. Lucky I have a cover on it. So you can see sort of where I've hesitated, and it's given a sort of an uncurvy area. So this may look easy, and it is easy, but it's also taken quite a while to learn how to do it. So that's my new one. So you need to notice my curve there isn't quite as good. That's all right. Ooh, this looks quite tangled up. Let's try this one. This is my new littlest one. Ooh. Oops, just started running out of paint there. Let's try something like that. Okay, so now it's starting to get a little bit mucky. So I'm going to just, it seems to me, if I do get it mucky, it seems to me that starting over again is often the best choice. So I'm going to do that. How am I doing for time? Oh, I'm doing all right. This is just what I expected to get done today. And it doesn't, just because I'm working with swirly things doesn't mean that's what this has to be about. So I'm going to put some swirly things on it because that's where I started, but where are they? This one, that's my old one, my old favorite. I like that a lot. I don't like that entry. That's better. Let's go with one of these. That's a different kind. Now, okay. Not quite so gooey. Yeah, so here I go. Go back. And if I ended up with something I really didn't like, that's okay. So a day in the art studio for me is a lot of time experimenting, and a fair amount of time warming up and preparing. And then sometimes my best work is done as I'm cleaning up because I'm so finished with expectations that I feel much freer and I'm able to just relax and do the work. And that's why music helps. Okay, so I I have an idea of what I want to do here, and I think I'm gonna just try and do it. Okay. Oops. And maybe another one. And I do like to get the corners in. But it's not really that important, because what I'm going to do next is a little different. Well, a little different than what I've done so far today. So I'm going to take one of these. Oops, that's too big. This is the right size. And I'm going to do one of my... And then I'm going to go... So I'm not sure if I really like it. Actually, I'm pretty sure I don't. So I'm just going to do this one more time. Patience, 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 patience. I put the swirly stuff in so that I'd have a background for the other stuff. But then I didn't really, I think I should have been using maybe a smaller modeler. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to just leave that. This one is smaller. This is the one I used the first time, and I'm going to use this littler one. I'm going from a 2-inch to 1.5 inch, and I'm not going to go quite so deep. And oh, that's better. That feels better. So I'm not pressing very hard, and that felt a lot better. Okay, so now I'm going to just go make a few. Let me see, what does it look like? Oh yeah. Okay, that looks good. So it's almost exactly the same, except I was more relaxed and I didn't push too hard, and I like it better. And oops, pick it up now. And I didn't, see. This is going to look quite nice because you can see the shininess of the gold. And I'm going to inscribe my name in the bottom. Maybe that bottom or that bottom or that bottom. I haven't quite figured out which bottom I'm going to use. But I do like this much better than the one, and it took me a while to get there. So that's my process. And where can I put it down? I can put it where I want to put it on something. There we go. Okay. So now the other thing that I do is that even though this is not, sometimes I mix up the blue paint or a paint like that, and I have a big bunch of it. I don't have that much, but it's still worth saving. I'm a bit of a, well, I wouldn't say I was a frugal artist, but I don't like to throw away perfectly good paint if there's a place I can put it. There's a good tablespoon there. And it's not that I'm going to go over that painting. I won't. So when I'm done, I'm done. But I'll have to figure out where I'm going to put this, but I won't do it right. Oh, I know. I'll just put it. I could put it in the surface there. I have a little lid here I can put it in. And I can put the lid over the jar, and it will turn it upside down, and I'll have that there when I need it. So So that's it for today. Lots of dirty tools. At first, I used to like to, demonstrate that I clean as I go, and it does work quite well if I'm going very slowly. But once I start speeding up and relaxing, I usually have a lot of dirty brushes to put up with. But it only takes a few minutes to clean these. I just go and wipe them off in water. They don't require soap or anything. They just require a quick wipe. So where did I put that one? I'm just going to move over here. I think I will say goodbye for the day. Okay. Thank you for joining us today. And you can find us here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Central. We are thinking of changing the times, possibly. So if you can let us know what times are better for you, then we will consider that. We have been thinking of doing a morning show, an afternoon show, and a weekend show, instead of always on the same time every day. And we are going to start changing some of the things that we're teaching. So I'm really open to hearing what you're interested in. Also would love to know where you're watching from. And so we're here to do a demonstration, answer your questions. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday. And we will have promotions on Wednesday. Okay.